A trusted family member has secretly put your property in their name, and they're hoping you'll never discover it. Archangel Michael says, a storm has been brewing around you without your awareness, carefully crafted in the shadows by someone who smiles in your presence but schemes in silence. You sense that something is off, but the full truth has not yet been shown to you. Tonight, that veil is being lifted so you can see the hidden betrayal clearly. It is not a stranger who has orchestrated this act, but a trusted family member who walked close to you, who knew your vulnerabilities, who learned the details of what belongs to you. They have quietly placed your property under their own name, believing you would never discover the trail they left behind. This move was not born overnight. It was a plan nurtured with envy, greed, and a desire to strip you of what is rightfully yours. The shocking part is not just what they did but the calmness with which they pretend around you, as though nothing happened. They hope to keep your eyes closed, to let the days pass until the ownership feels sealed in their hands forever. But heaven has already documented their act, and no human hand can override what is divinely ordained for you. Every whisper they made, every paper they touched, and every secret they thought was hidden is now being revealed to the spiritual realm. What they plotted in the dark has been brought into light, and you are not standing defenseless. The divine has positioned protection around you so their game will not end as they intended. Type Amen to get Divine Blessing 1482. Their confidence comes from believing you will never ask, never check, never uncover. They rely on your silence, thinking you are too distracted or too trusting to notice what they are doing behind your back. But the truth is already on its way to your awareness, carried by the hands of divine messengers who will not let you be robbed. This betrayal runs deep because it was not just about property, it was about control. They wanted to claim ownership not only of land or documents but of your destiny. They thought if they could control what is in your name, they could control the direction of your life. The spirit realm is stirring because your inheritance is tied to more than physical property, it represents your authority, your standing, and the fruit of your efforts. That is why the enemy sought to manipulate it through the vessel of someone familiar, hoping you wouldn't look closely. But Archangel Michael is standing guard, ensuring no unlawful transfer will hold power over your true destiny. The next days will be filled with signs and nudges, guiding you to look in the right direction and uncover what has been concealed. Every lie, every falsified move, every document tampered with will surface. They will try to act shocked when exposed, but heaven already saw the moment their heart decided to betray. Type Amen to get Divine Blessing 7749. This betrayal was seeded long ago, when jealousy crept into their heart. They measured themselves against you, and instead of celebrating your blessings, they grew restless. That restlessness turned into plotting, until the plan was finally executed in silence, disguised as routine transactions and legal moves. But what they did not anticipate is how divine timing works. They acted swiftly to secure your property in their name, but heaven moves with precision, not speed. And now that their deed has reached its climax, exposure begins, and everything will unfold in a way they cannot escape. There is a reason you are receiving this message now. It is not coincidence, not accident, but divine alignment. At the exact moment they feel safest in their deception, the truth is being delivered to you to interrupt their illusion of success. Every person who played a role in this scheme will feel the pressure of divine judgment. Those who signed, those who assisted, those who advised them, all of them are caught in the net of truth. There will be no hiding place left as the light exposes each hand that tried to erase your name. Type Amen to get Divine Blessing 9201. You may feel heavy as these words reach you, but know that your heaviness is not without purpose. It is the stirring of your spirit aligning with truth, recognizing what has been attempted against you. That weight is the breaking of illusions, for once truth is revealed, lies lose their grip. They believed you would never question them, because of the trust you carried. Trust was the very key they used to open the door of betrayal. But what they thought would be a shield for them is now the evidence that will condemn them. When the evidence surfaces, their excuses will not stand. Their rehearsed explanations will crumble. They will realize too late that divine justice does not need human permission to be fulfilled. Prepare yourself, not with fear, but with awareness. You are about to witness a shift in the spiritual and physical world as their plans begin to unravel. One by one, the locks they placed on your inheritance will break open, and your name will shine again where it was meant to. Type Amen to get Divine Blessing 6637. Their calmness in public hides the trembling within, because even now, they sense the energy shifting against them. The mask they wear grows heavier by the day as the weight of hidden papers and false claims begins pressing back upon them. What they thought would remain buried forever is now rising to the surface with unstoppable force. The property in your name was never just material, it was tied to your spirit, your sacrifices, and the alignment of destiny. By trying to claim it as their own, they touched something sacred that was never meant to be handled through manipulation. And the heavens are fierce in protecting what has been sealed with your purpose. They will soon realize that the ground beneath them is unstable. Their confidence in having secured it will collapse like dust in the wind once the revelations start breaking through. Their mind will race with panic, because what they plan to keep secret will echo louder than they ever expected. You may not yet see the full picture, but trust that divine light is tracing every hidden move. The angels are aligning doors, records, and conversations that will bring you direct clarity. You will not have to chase the truth will find you and knock at your door. Type Amen to get Divine Blessing 8150. Think of how calculated they were, smiling to your face while arranging betrayal behind your back. They used your trust as cover, your kindness as permission, and your silence as opportunity. Every gesture of warmth they offered was painted with secret intentions they thought would never be exposed. But heaven does not allow such betrayal to go unchecked. The reason you are receiving this message is because your time of unawareness has ended. From this moment forward, your spirit is awakening to every hidden detail that has been kept from you. Soon, you will notice subtle signs that point to the deception. Words slipping out, expressions faltering, documents surfacing, all of these will guide your eyes to what was hidden. You are not left to figure it out on your own. Divine orchestration is already pulling the strings. The closer the truth comes, the more unsettled they will become. Their calm exterior will crack, and their attempts to act normal will fail. You will begin to see through their mask with startling clarity. Type Amen to get Divine Blessing 4422. Archangel Michael says, the betrayal against you is not a dead end. It is the opening for justice to roar like thunder. While they believe they have stolen from you, in truth, they have only positioned themselves for public exposure. Their deception will backfire, and the very property they tried to take will carry your name in greater honor. Your inheritance is not just about paper, it is about legacy. That legacy cannot be erased, not even by forged signatures or hidden transfers. Heaven has written it already, and no earthly hand can overwrite what the divine has established. You are stepping into a season where the unseen will be revealed. No matter how carefully they concealed their tracks, they overlooked one thing: nothing remains hidden forever under the eyes of eternity. Their cleverness cannot outmaneuver divine justice. Every paper will be uncovered. Every false claim will be stripped bare. Every smile they wore as disguise will dissolve when truth confronts them face to face. Type Amen to get divine blessing 9971. Even now, whispers in the spiritual realm carry your name as angels discuss your vindication. The courtroom of heaven has already ruled in your favor, and now that ruling is about to manifest in the earthly realm. You are not walking into this battle alone, you are walking with power that cannot be defeated. What they schemed was meant to break you. It was meant to silence your authority and reduce your influence. But instead, it will elevate you, because the exposure of betrayal will shift favor in your direction. The trusted family member who did this has underestimated who you are. They saw you as vulnerable, unaware, and passive. But heaven sees you as chosen, anointed, and fiercely protected. Prepare yourself for the unveiling, it will not come quietly. The truth will arrive like a storm, undeniable and unstoppable, sweeping away every falsehood they relied on. What they thought was theirs will be ripped back into your hands. Type Amen to get divine blessing 3018. The moment of reckoning is near. They will not be able to look at you the same once the truth unfolds, because guilt will stain their very presence. Every word they speak will tremble, for they will know that you finally see them for who they truly are. Their boldness in deception is about to dissolve into fear. The mask that once gave them confidence will crack. And they will realize too late that divine exposure is more powerful than their hidden planning. This message is not given to alarm you, it is to prepare you. Preparation allows you to stand firm when the revelations come. Instead of being caught in shock, you will stand ready, empowered, and unshaken. The property that carries your name will shine brighter after this season, because it will no longer just be physical land, it will be the testimony of how no betrayal can erase what heaven seals. This is why you are chosen to hear this message now. Type Amen to get divine blessing 6285. The moment is coming where documents will fall into your hands that will shock you. These papers will carry proof of what was attempted, written boldly in signatures and dates, but also written secretly in intentions. When you see them, you will not only understand what they tried to steal, but also how far they were willing to go to keep you blind. They thought by hiding the trail behind legal language, you would never be able to decipher it. They underestimated the clarity that heaven gives when it is time to expose a lie. Your spirit will recognize what belongs to you even before your eyes fully process the words on the page. This is not just about property, it is about dignity. They thought if they could control what was yours, they could silence you, reduce you, make you dependent on them. But instead, their betrayal will prove to be the very platform that restores your strength and shows the world your resilience. When you rise from this exposure, your authority will not only remain intact, it will grow. People who once doubted you will now look at you with new respect, because truth has a way of lifting the righteous above the schemes of deceivers. Their attempt to bury you will become the soil from which you stand taller. Type Amen to get divine blessing 5147. The trusted family member who carried out this act is trembling inside, though they will never admit it. Even now, they can sense that the secret they buried is slipping through their grasp. The energy around them is shifting, and the pressure is mounting in ways they cannot explain. You will begin to notice their behavior changing subtly. The small slips in speech, the nervous avoidance of eye contact, the overcompensation of false kindness, all of these are cracks in the mask they have worn. What once felt like certainty for them now feels like fear. Their fear will grow because they cannot stop what is coming. The exposure is no longer in your hands, it is in divine hands. And once divine exposure begins, there is no force strong enough to reverse it. Archangel Michael says, "You will not need to fight endlessly for what is yours, because justice is already moving on your behalf." You are not left vulnerable in this process, you are carried by heavenly warriors who fight with authority that cannot be broken. You are not alone in this battle. The days ahead will bring sudden shifts. Where doors once felt closed, they will suddenly open, guiding you to the truth. Where voices were once silent, they will suddenly speak, revealing details you were never meant to hear. Every hidden move is being drawn out into the open. The property they claimed will become the very evidence of their betrayal, standing as a testimony against them. No matter how many hands tried to lock it away, the keys are now being handed back to you. This betrayal was not just about taking, it was about control and power. They wanted to strip you of independence, to rewrite your story, to plant themselves as the one who decides your path. But they did not realize that no one can rewrite what heaven has authored. You were chosen long before they plotted. You were secured long before they schemed. And you will be restored long before their false ownership takes root. Type Amen to get divine blessing 3640. Soon, whispers will circulate even within your own family. Those who knew pieces of the scheme but stayed quiet will no longer be able to hold it in. Their silence will shatter under the weight of divine conviction. The betrayer will find themselves cornered, not just by evidence, but by their own conscience. Every glance at you will pierce them with guilt. Every reminder of the property will remind them of the theft they tried to normalize. What they thought would give them peace of mind will instead torment them daily. The same property they claimed falsely will feel heavy in their hands. They will not be able to enjoy what was stolen, because divine order does not allow stolen blessings to bear fruit. As the truth spreads, their circle of allies will begin to shrink. Even those who once supported them will retreat, afraid of being tied to exposure. Their isolation will deepen, while your influence will rise. Type Amen to get divine blessing 2495. The atmosphere around you is shifting because you are entering a season of divine justice. You will feel the power of alignment as events unfold in your favor. Every closed pathway will open at the exact moment you need it. This is not by coincidence, it is design. Heaven has written your restoration into the timeline, and no betrayal can erase that writing. Every step forward will confirm that you are walking in divine order. Your eyes are being sharpened, your spirit made more alert. No longer will you overlook what is happening in silence. From this moment, your awareness becomes your shield. And when the truth finally arrives fully, you will not only see the betrayal, you will see the justice following it. Justice will not only restore what was stolen but will add to you far more than you lost. Type Amen to get divine blessing 8803. The betrayer will try to justify themselves, but their words will crumble. They will claim misunderstanding, they will claim necessity, but none of their words will match the evidence. Truth will stand taller than every excuse. They will be left facing the reality that they cannot undo. What was hidden is revealed, what was stolen is returned, what was silenced is spoken. No mask, no story, no ally can cover them anymore. Their greatest fear is not the loss of property, it is the loss of trust. And when trust is broken, it cannot be mended by lies. Their entire standing within the family will shift, because betrayal once exposed leaves permanent scars. You, however, will walk away with dignity intact. Your inheritance will shine brighter because it was fought for and preserved by divine power. And your story will be marked as one of vindication. Type Amen to get divine blessing 4371. The closer justice comes, the louder the spiritual tremors become around them. They cannot hide from what is already written in the divine realm. Every step they take in pretense is only bringing them closer to the collapse of their secret. The property they tried to claim as theirs will not serve them as they intended. Instead of security, it will bring unrest. Instead of satisfaction, it will bring emptiness. They thought ownership meant control, but true ownership belongs only where divine alignment has placed it. Their name on a document is not enough to overwrite the name heaven has already sealed. The evidence of heaven's seal will soon manifest in the earthly realm. You are not forgotten in this moment, you are remembered with divine precision. Your case has been lifted higher, and your victory has already been stamped. Nothing can remove what has been marked as yours from the beginning. Type Amen to get divine blessing 6124. Prepare yourself, because exposure often comes suddenly, like lightning splitting the sky. What they thought would remain quiet will erupt into clarity. Their actions will no longer be whispers in the dark but echoes in the open. This sudden shift will catch them off guard. They will not have time to prepare excuses or weave new lies. The evidence will stand before them like a mirror reflecting their betrayal. And as this unfolds, you will feel the weight lifting off your shoulders. The fog of deception will clear, and your path will shine brighter than before. What was once heavy will become light. Archangel Michael says, this is not just an unveiling, it is a reckoning. The betrayer will learn that divine justice carries both exposure and consequence. They will not walk away untouched. Type Amen to get divine blessing 9250. As their mask shatters, their relationships will fracture too. Those who once believed their words will now doubt them. Their false image of loyalty will dissolve, leaving them isolated in their own schemes. Isolation will be their prison. The very family they sought to control will begin to distance themselves. Trust will be stripped from their hands like sand slipping through fingers. They believed taking your property would elevate them, but it will only lower them. Instead of gaining power, they will lose influence. Instead of gaining honor, they will inherit shame. You will stand restored, not only in possession but in recognition. The restoration will not be silent, it will be a testimony of how no betrayal can stand against divine order. Type Amen to get divine blessing 3774. The divine is not only returning what is yours, it is multiplying it. What they attempted to steal will return with increase. Your inheritance will carry more weight and more meaning than it did before. Every tear you shed in confusion is being repaid in strength. Every doubt you carried in silence is being exchanged for certainty. You will not only regain, you will rise. Your rise will be undeniable. Even those who once looked down on you will now look up to you. And your voice will carry authority born from truth revealed. The betrayer will watch as your influence expands. They will see that their act of theft became the very act that elevated you. What was meant for harm has become your stage for honor. Type Amen to get Divine Blessing 8439. The Divine is positioning you now for greater clarity. Dreams, signs, and inner nudges will guide you. You will know what to do, when to act, and where to look. The pieces of the puzzle are aligning. Every missing detail is coming together. And soon, the entire picture will stand complete before your eyes. This is your time of exposure and restoration. No more silence, no more hidden shadows. Your season of justice has arrived. Stand firm, because the unveiling is already in motion. Nothing can delay what heaven has already decreed. Nothing can silence what has been spoken over your life. Type Amen to get Divine Blessing 5592. The trusted family member who betrayed you will come face to face with truth they cannot outrun. Their world will change when exposure arrives. Every hidden act will return to them like a reflection in a mirror. But you, chosen and protected, will step into a new season. A season where your property, your dignity, and your honor are fully restored. Nothing that was stolen will remain stolen. Their actions will be remembered as betrayal, but your story will be remembered as vindication. The testimony of your restoration will echo louder than their deception. This is how divine justice writes endings. And as the chapter closes, you will walk free. Not only free from loss, but free from the shadows of betrayal. You will walk in light, carrying the blessing that was always meant to be yours. Type Amen to get Divine Blessing 2748. Do not be surprised when strange conversations reach your ears. Words spoken in secrecy will slip into your awareness, carried by people who never intended to reveal them. The betrayer's web of silence will unravel, thread by thread. This unraveling will not be gentle, it will be sharp, sudden, undeniable. Even those who once defended them will begin to question their loyalty. The foundation they stood upon will collapse under the weight of truth. As the collapse grows louder, you will find yourself rising higher. Your confidence will return, stronger than it was before. You will walk into rooms with authority that can no longer be denied. The shift in energy is unstoppable. Where you were once hidden, you will now be highlighted. Where you were once silenced, your voice will now carry power. Type Amen to get Divine Blessing 6380. The betrayer may try to plead for forgiveness when the exposure is undeniable. But know this, forgiveness does not erase consequences. They must still face what their actions created. Their attempt to hold what was yours will feel heavier than they imagined. The weight of guilt will make their possession unbearable. They will learn that what does not belong to them cannot bring peace. Your peace, however, will return like a river. It will flow into every area of your life, washing away the stains of betrayal. You will not carry bitterness, you will carry clarity. Clarity will sharpen your vision. You will no longer overlook subtle signs or ignore your intuition. Instead, you will trust the divine whispers that guide you. Type Amen to get Divine Blessing 4527. Archangel Michael says, the storm around you is not meant to break you but to reveal the strength within you. This battle has never been about property alone, it has been about your destiny. The enemy targeted what was in your hand because they feared what was in your future. But the divine has turned this attempt into a declaration. What was meant to silence you will now amplify your influence. What was meant to diminish you will now magnify your presence. Every corner of deception is being lit up. Every dark room where plans were made is now illuminated. Nothing can remain hidden in this season of revelation. The betrayer will soon realize that they were never fighting against you alone, they were fighting against divine order. And no one wins when they stand against the divine. Type Amen to get divine blessing 93:16. The season you are stepping into is marked by restoration. Restoration does not simply return what was lost, it increases what is returned. Your name will shine brighter because it endured attack and still stood tall. You will not just be restored in property but in influence, in voice, in respect. Your story will inspire others who have faced betrayal. They will see how divine justice can turn ashes into testimony. The betrayer, however, will become a cautionary tale. Their downfall will remind others of the cost of hidden deception. And their name will carry the shadow of their choices. But your name will carry light. Wherever you go, the fragrance of victory will follow. You will be marked not by what was taken, but by what was divinely preserved and returned. Type Amen to get divine blessing 78:51. The time of silence is over. What was whispered in secret will now echo in the open. The stage of exposure has been set, and no actor can rewrite the script. Every attempt they make to deny will only expose them further. Every lie they try to weave will collapse under its own weight. The truth has a way of rising, no matter how deep it was buried. And when the truth rises, it brings justice with it. Justice that cannot be denied, delayed, or diminished. Justice that carries your name with authority. You will see the tables turn swiftly. What was once against you will suddenly align in your favor. And you will walk forward with confidence, knowing you are divinely secured. Type Amen to get divine blessing 5104.